Picture this: a world designed by an all-powerful, all-knowing, and totally benevolent God. Sounds pretty idyllic, right? But wait a minute, because this picture has a few cracks. We're talking about evil, the kind that makes you question the whole divine plan thing. Yep, that age-old head-scratcher known as the problem of evil. If God is so perfect, why is there so much suffering in the world? It's a question that's haunted theologians and philosophers for centuries. Wars, diseases, natural disasters. It's enough to make you wonder if someone hit the random misfortune button a few too many times. And let's not forget about the everyday evils too. Cruelty, betrayal, that last slice of pizza mysteriously vanishing from the fridge. You get the idea. The problem of evil isn't just some abstract philosophical puzzle. It's a real-life dilemma that impacts how we view the world, our faith, and even ourselves. It's about reconciling the existence of a loving God with the harsh realities of a world where bad things happen to good people, and sometimes to bad people too, but that's a whole other philosophical debate. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into this philosophical conundrum, exploring one particularly intriguing perspective, that of Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, a man who dared to see the silver lining in the cosmic cloud of evil. Now let's talk about Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, a true Renaissance man. Born in 1646, this German genius wasn't just some stuffy philosopher holed up in an ivory tower. Nope, Leibniz was a man of many hats. Mathematician, scientist, diplomat, you name it. He even invented calculus, independently of Newton, mind you, which, let's be honest, earns him some serious geek cred. But Leibniz's real claim to fame lies in his philosophical contributions, particularly his optimistic take on the problem of evil. See, unlike some philosophers who saw the universe as a bit of a cosmic fixer-upper, Leibniz believed that we're actually living in the best possible world. Yes, you read that right, the best. Now, before you dismiss him as hopelessly naive, keep in mind that Leibniz wasn't suggesting that our world is perfect, like some kind of utopian paradise. He knew there was plenty of bad stuff going on, but he argued that even with all its flaws, this world is still the best possible version God could have created. So, how did Leibniz arrive at this seemingly outrageous conclusion? Well, he had a few philosophical tricks up his sleeve. Firstly, he believed that God, being all-powerful and all-knowing, could have created an infinite number of possible worlds. Secondly, he argued that God, in his infinite goodness, would naturally choose the best possible world from these options. But what makes this world the best, you ask? Well, for Leibniz, it all boiled down to the balance between good and evil. He believed that while evil exists, it ultimately serves a greater purpose. It allows for the existence of a greater good that wouldn't be possible without it. Think of it like a perfectly composed symphony. A few discordant notes here and there might sound jarring on their own, but they ultimately contribute to the overall beauty and complexity of the music. Leibniz argued that even seemingly terrible events, like natural disasters or pandemics, could lead to positive outcomes in the long run. Advancements in science, greater compassion, or a renewed appreciation for life. He believed that God uses evil as a tool for growth, pushing humanity towards greater understanding and perfection. Hold on a minute, Leibniz. Not so fast. Leibniz's optimistic theodicy, while undoubtedly thought-provoking, didn't exactly go unchallenged. Critics, both in his time and today, have raised some valid points that are hard to ignore. One major criticism is that Leibniz's theory seems to downplay the suffering of individuals. Sure, a natural disaster might lead to advancements in engineering, but tell that to the families who lost loved ones in the process. Another criticism is that Leibniz's argument relies on a lot of assumptions about God's nature and motivations. How can we be sure that God's definition of the best aligns with our own? And even if God does have a plan, does that justify the suffering of innocent people? Then there's the issue of free will. If God created the best possible world, does that mean our choices are predetermined? And if so, can we truly be held accountable for our actions if they're all part of God's grand design? These are just a few of the questions that continue to fuel the debate surrounding Leibniz's theodicy. Let's fast forward to the 21st century, and we shall find ourselves in a world rich with complexity and chaos, and unfortunately for many people, without God also. Modern science, with its theories of quantum mechanics and chaos theory, paints a very different picture of the universe, one where unpredictability and randomness play significant roles. So the question is, did God create science, or is science a god in itself? I prefer to believe the former, but that is another video in itself, and it is a personal opinion. This is a hard question that remains unasked in this 21st century, but yet and still, many believe in science and not God, and vice versa. We now understand that even the tiniest variation in initial conditions can lead to vastly different outcomes, a concept known as the butterfly effect. This challenges the idea of a preordained best possible world and opens up new questions about free will and responsibility. So, as we continue to explore the nature of our existence, we must balance the philosophical insights of the past with the scientific discoveries of the present. The debate is far from over, but one thing is clear. The quest for understanding is a journey that will never end. Leibniz believed in a harmonious universe created by a benevolent God. When we consider quantum mechanics, with its inherent unpredictability, we can see a parallel to Leibniz's idea of a world that is complex yet ordered. Perhaps, scientifically and spiritually, we can find common ground in the belief that the universe, in all its chaos and complexity, is part of a grand design. This synthesis of science and spirituality offers a profound way to understand our place in the cosmos. But where does this leave us in the grand scheme of things? Are we left, therefore, having both, the creator and the creation? Interesting, isn't it? So, if chaos and complexity suggest a universe without a predetermined path, what role does quantum mechanics play in our understanding of reality? Quantum mechanics introduces us to a world where particles can exist in multiple states at once, a phenomenon known as superposition. This challenges our traditional notions of certainty and determinism. The famous thought experiment of Schrödinger's cat illustrates this paradox. Until we observe the cat, it can be both alive and dead, existing in a state of quantum uncertainty. So now, aligning that same concept and theory, there is no good without evil, and there is no evil without good. How would you gauge either one without having the other one? It is like day and night. There is no one without the other. These quantum conundrums force us to reconsider the very fabric of reality. Are we simply observers in a universe governed by probabilities, or do we play a more active role in shaping our destiny? As we dive deeper into the mysteries of quantum mechanics, it becomes clear that our journey to understand the universe is far from over. The more we learn, the more questions arise, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and imagination. I personally believe that this was the plan to begin with, but as such, in philosophy and science, things are open to change, challenge, and collaboration. More importantly, they are always open for debate and discussion. So as I leave you with this, please do join in on the discussion. What say you? What are your thoughts? What are your convictions? Is God ominous, omnipotent, and omnipresent within the grand scheme of his creation? Or is he a figment of our imagination, a fairy tale of some sort? Well, I heard someone say this once upon a time. If you don't believe in something, you will fall for anything, including the existence of science with no God. This is Sylvia signing off for now, and I do appreciate you joining me here at Philosophical Flicks today, and I am looking forward to the discussion and comments that will be posted in this video. But please, let's keep it civil and respect everyone's boundaries as well as beliefs. I will see you soon. Take care of yourselves and each other.